Cop. Huh? I'm good. How are you? Huh? Yeah. Hey, what's your employee number and not badge number, employee number and name? White. Nice to meet you. No. Yeah. See, I'm actually providing a public service. When you do that, you're bringing in revenue. If I stand here, they stop at the stop sign, and so we're doing the same thing. I'm getting them to stop without having to pay Metro money for a rolling stop or something. What were you doing? Report? Okay. Oh, well, a lot of times they double team up here in unmarked cars. Yeah, they double team, and what they do, I've counted it, and it's on a 9-minute rotation. Whoop! They run, and they fly through this stop sign, going flying to catch a car within a block, like it's gonna run somewhere. Even that direction, when it's a dead end, they fly. And then that causes a traffic hazard. More people get killed by police officers than any terrorist attack in the world. So that puts everybody at risk when officers fly through here over maybe a seatbelt off or a rolling stop that doesn't hurt anybody. And they double team. One will sit there, whoop, and 9 minutes later they're back. The other one goes, whoop, and they do that for hours. And all that is bringing in revenue for the county. And I know there's quotas and a lot of people deny them. I know you're going to say that, but there are people who only do traffic, that all they do is go out and do traffic stops. That's called revenue. And if I can prevent someone from having to go into extreme debt, lose their license because they can't afford to pay the fine, or their points go up. You know, for every ticket your points go up, your insurance goes up. You might end up with SR22, which is an extra $200 a month. They can't pay the court cost or anything else, so they end up losing their license. So then they can't drive to work. So then they can't get paid to pay their child support. Huh? I have seen people get pulled over right here for barely rolling stop, but I've seen people get pulled over, and it's always a car full of Mexicans that get pulled over that did nothing, that are sitting right there. They pull up right there. You can't see their tags to know if they're expired. They stop at the stop sign, they get pulled over anyway. I'm not implying that you would. I'm just saying, yeah, but I've seen so many where literally I watch very intently, and they've absolutely done nothing wrong, and the hope is to run them all for warrants and hopefully to take somebody to jail. And any time a traffic stop like that is all revenue for the county, and nobody can afford that, can you? If you got a $200 ticket, I mean, not everybody can afford it. You make a decent salary. You can FOIA request every officer's income, and it's a lot. When you do your off-duty and your on-duty and your overtime, you add all that together, y'all make a lot of money. When people are barely getting by doing day laboring in a broken down pickup truck, that becomes a target. I saw one officer pulled somebody over because they were a suspicious vehicle because there was a dent in their front fender. That made it a suspicious car. No. They literally said, I pulled so-and-so over because it was a suspicious vehicle because there was front end damage. That was the whole reason for pulling them over. And I don't think that that's right, personally. I think that police officers are supposed to protect and serve, not stop to bring in revenue, and not to hunt for people who may not could have gotten their tags redone last month and things like that. Especially a rolling stop like that right there. If you pull up to that, when I was a teenager, I got 2 tickets in the same month by the same cop right there, because you can't see from right there. Especially, you remember all those bushes that were 12 feet high along there? You can't see everywhere. So if you stop sometimes like at that line, you need to pull farther forward to be able to get a good angle view to make sure nothing's coming. Well, that made it illegal, so then someone will get a ticket. Oh, I know, and that's what I do. But you get an arrogant officer or one who's not one of the good police officers that do it by the book, and they do that. You know, I had one, you might have seen the video, where the guy was trying to trespass me off of a public sidewalk. A public sidewalk that was about 4 feet wide, demanding to know where I lived, wanting to know who I am. You're trespassing. He said, I don't care if I'm on camera or not. You're trespassing. Went off on me for about 10 minutes. Huh? Trespassing. I was across the street. They were like over to that street sign, that 35 mile per hour sign, and I'm standing there like this, just filming, curious, like a journalist. If I had a Channel 4 news van next to me, it would have been fine. But I'm standing here like this, and he comes over harassing me because I'm filming them, and he didn't like it. So when he got in his car to leave, he yells, "Stop videotaping, we're the cops." And those are the kind of officers that need to be filmed. And you know that this is a new tool that people use for police accountability. But, huh? Do you not have them yet? Y'all sure do need them. Do you mind if I walk over there? Okay. Because I think every police officer should have a body cam, period.
Out which ones we're going to use. So we have a couple officers who have them. You'll see them. Those that wear them up here on their shoulder.
Your people get mad if I don't actually show you what you look like. Okay, there you go. But anyway, I don't have a card with me, but I could give you my YouTube channel so you can see it.
Am I going on there?
Huh?
You going to put me on there?
Yeah.
I'm going on there?
Yeah. Because you're nice.
Oh, sweet. What's the YouTube channel?
See, another guy said sweet. I usually have a card, but if you go to YouTube and put in the search thing, it's 51 dash.
Wait, what?
51 dash 50, and then a space, and then 5-0. Get the irony?
5150.
5150 50.
That's police right there. 50's here.
The crazy ones. I try to get the ones.
Here?
No.
Oh, you're just out at this intersection? Because you saw me up there?
Exactly. It used to be a big problem. Now it's not. It hasn't been as much lately. They were working on that place, renovating it for a long time, and they stayed there just stalking and stalking, double teaming, not undercover, but unmarked cars, all of that. And then, but whenever I show up with a camera, people don't stay because you're not going to get a ticket because I go like that, or I hold up a sign that says cops. You know, just don't. That way I'm performing the same service you are, but they're not going to have to pay for it for years.
Because that way they don't have to get stopped and lose time out of their day.
Yeah.
And they don't roll a stop sign that may cause an accident.
Exactly. So I see it as a public service on my part, as you're supposed to be doing a public service. So if anyone ever gets angry about it, it would be inappropriate in my opinion, because I'm helping people obey the traffic laws.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So anyway, but it was good to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
I appreciate you being so nice and everything. But anyway, look at my channel, and I'm telling you, the best one was Stop Videotaping, We're the Cops.
How many do you have on there?
I don't know, there's 2 that are boring, they're only traffic stops. But I'll stop at a traffic stop because...
I wouldn't stop, because then you can get for interference.
Oh no, I'm across the street in a park where nobody will ever see my car. So I stay, just like I stayed, just 15 feet from the center line that I can walk, and I know where to be. That's why I asked your permission to walk here. So I stay out of the way, and I don't engage with the police officers unless they're done. And then I'll ask your name, you know. And Actually, do you have a card?
I don't.
I found out recently y'all have cards. One thing that got
Who
me,
carries cards? I've never heard of an officer carrying a card.
well, what was neat about it was I went down to Cameron and Leeds School, you know, like on First Avenue, and there was, okay, it's 2 lanes, and then you can park on each side of the road. And there was an unmarked black police car sitting in 1 lane with all the blue lights going. And I'm like, well, they must have pulled somebody over or something. The kids were letting out of school. These are high school, okay? This isn't.
They're letting out of school?
Yeah.
That's an extra job we have. To work traffic on there.
All right. Well, let me tell you my opinion about that. It was a sergeant. They get paid a lot of money, more than just an officer. So you say, well, Metro schools are hiring us to do this extra job. Okay. Remedies for that. You get one of those sawhorses that has a sign that says plain clothes. That's the cheapest way. The second way is to get crossing guards. They make about minimum wage. But a sergeant,
Cameron's not a Metro public school.
well, they are when they want to be.
No, they're not a Metro public
They're
school.
charter.
They're a charter, so they don't have the crossing guards. Metro doesn't provide them. They don't get paid the same as Metro teachers. They don't have Metro crossing guards and none of that. So they hire us to be the crossing guards.
I want to tell you, I've dealt with them a long time, and when they're doing something overtly wrong that Metro would never allow, they say, well, we're not part of Metro. We're independent. We're charter.
Sure.
But then again, if it's a complaint the opposite way, they say, well, you'll have to take that up with Metro. So they use that with the Metro Public Schools. But anyway, I show up and it's a sergeant. They get paid a lot of money, and that's an overtime job, not overtime, an extra job. So he gets paid okay, a lot of money, to sit there in a car and do nothing. Where you could have a sawhorse that said plain clothes. Isn't that cheap? Yes, I'll give them one.
So who would pay more attention to a little thing that says lane closed?
A great big sawhorse in the middle of the lane, I doubt anybody's gonna run over it. But to pay a sergeant, that's man hours and a car.
That's his own time.
Huh?
That's his own. He's not on duty. That's off duty. So he's
But it comes out of the same tax dollars. See, what money does it come out of? The school.
Who hire us? Yeah.
That's the
So
school.
the hospitals pay us to work there. And
Okay.
it's a charter school and everything of that nature.
Okay, we have tax dollars, right? It's in this great big pot.
Yeah.
Okay, we pay y'all your.
Well, I pay taxes too, so don't.
I know, I'm saying everyone in general in this county. Okay, let's look at the county. All of us pay taxes. You pay taxes on your income, right? Okay, here's our pool of taxes. Say, we buy a sawhorse and put lane closure in 1 lane. No one's going to run over a great big sawhorse.
So you're going to pay them to go out there and put it out there and take it away?
I'll do it for free.
Hey.
But surely someone inside of there could pick up that sawhorse and walk it out the front door.
But they'd rather pay us to come out there and what they do.
But see, it's not their money. The reason is it's part of that pot of money that you and I and everyone else here paying taxes to pay a sergeant's salary.
Well, no, even if I work that same job he was working, we get paid the same.
But it's a waste of money.
That's up with the private organization if they want to spend it.
But it comes out of our tax dollars.
No, they don't.
My tax dollars pay for Cameron. Your tax dollars pay for Cameron and Lead. Don't think it's some private school that they fund themselves. It's not. It's part of Metro.
It's a federal school. Or a federal grant.
But to me, it's a huge waste of money paying a sergeant to sit there and do nothing. And after I went up, and the officer was really nice. It was I think Sergeant Walker. He was very nice, and he offered me a card. And then, but after that, I went down the road, and I wanted to demonstrate how exactly what he was doing, because it's just like this, cars on the side. He wasn't actually fixing something. But then after I talked to him, he decided it would look better if he got out of his car and put on a reflective vest and stand there.
Yeah.
You have a wasp. But anyway, that one's on there, but it's really short. But anyway, I've only been doing this a few months, but if you look up First Amendment audits, the best one is the guy that's News Now Houston. You'll see that I know I talked to 2 different lieutenants, and I talked to the training academy to ensure that every Metro police officer and everyone in the state troopers, everybody, are aware of the laws that photography is on public property of public
Video me
officials in the
all you
course.
want to.
Exactly, but some officers don't agree.
They don't
and
like it.
They don't like it.
I
But I
personally
don't try-
like being filmed, but
I wouldn't
can't
either.
stop you from
But see, I quit because we're talking anyway. But I was just filming what was happening. But now that we're
Well,
talking, I'm not.
I just wanted to clear it up. I mean, it's not gonna be on video, so you can
No.
post however you want it. You can make it look however you want it to look. But I'm not running traffic. I was just finishing up my paperwork from earlier.
Well-
and taking a lunch break. So
Well, that part right there, I'll make sure I include that you said that. How about that?
what? Now I'm not running traffic.
Right, that you were doing paperwork, and that way no one will think that you were here
Well,
just
you
trying
can-
to make.
People construe things and make it look however they want. I don't care if you post it however you want, but
Really, seriously. Now, this is what out of concern for you, or because I was holding the camera up.
probably concern for me if I'm out of my car and someone's videotaping.
Well, you look pretty casual. I think I do too. Did you call for help?
No, he's a sheriff officer.
I know.
What's up?
What's up?
Hey,
Hey,
how you doing?
what are you filming?
You right now.
Why?
Yeah, like if someone's holding up a camera and then you come up right in front of their camera, that means that you're going to be on video.
Oh, okay.
I mean, just, you know. Anyway, can I get your name and employee number?
Yeah.
Your name and employee number? Isn't that your policy?
I don't. They have different. I think they have different policies.
All the
They don't enforce laws. They just
Every
sheriff's department.
every single law enforcement, it's their policy. It's not law. It's policy to
Yeah.
give your name and your employee number or badge number, depending on where you work.
Well, our employee number and badge number is the same. Like you can see a
Well-
physical difference in that, but if I gave you that, you wouldn't be able to find out who I am. 29, I don't even know it. 2497,
Okay.
but 279111 is my badge number.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Or employee,
And-
however you want to construe it.
And just so you know, I don't edit things down to make anybody look bad. I will edit this because there's so much time in between nothing's happening.
Uh-huh.
So I will cut it down. If there's ever a question or anything, I can also release the full version. So if anybody ever has an issue with it, you know.
The issue if it's on public video will be as long as you want.
Some police still don't like it, but I'll tell
I
you,
don't like it, but
I wouldn't
there's nothing
either.
can
I
do
wouldn't
about
want
it.
anybody videotaping me. I even have a paranoia. I hate it. Like, this is just a joke. But they do Christmas ornaments down there. And there's this teddy bear. It looks like it's just staring at me through my window. I'm just kidding. It's funny.
Yeah.
But anyway, I hate all the cameras. I hate there's no
You hate
expectation.
it, why do you do it?
Because
other
I
people.
have the right, and I learned how. Okay, in the last 2 years, you see how video has a. In the last 2 years, how video has affected things. I want to be a part of the good part. Thanks for talking to me. Good citizen. I prefer to be anonymous. Thank you.